Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house. We love that she's here to help us how to figure out how to bring profits in daily. So if you're looking for her on the web, you can find her under Profits in Daily. And that's Coach Caren Fern with a C.
Yeah.
What you got going on this morning, Coach?
oh,
Oh, my
I
goodness.
well, I was debating what we're going to do for the rest of this month, but then I realized, this is perfect. We're going to do like a 6 week kind of a workshopy kind of thing for the next
Oh,
6 weeks. We're going to talk about something I've been listening to, I've been experiencing through other people, and I thought this is a great subject. We're going to talk
oh,
about
good.
starting from zero, wealth creation, a 6 week wealth creation. We're going to talk about starting from zero because it was a podcast or something I was listening to, something on YouTube, and she was talking about starting from zero, and we were back and forth talking. I was like, oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna bring this to the table too. Starting from zero, the 6 week workshop kind of thing we were doing, wealth creation, and you know, when we start talking about money, when we start talking about money it's really we're talking about how we're feeling,
Mm,
what we're doing.
yes.
Are we a good receiver? We are good givers.
Yes, we're excellent givers.
So when you hear that you should give, you're like, well, I've given already. Some part of your brain is saying this, but are you a good receiver? So we're going to talk a lot about the receiving part because this is so crucial.
Thank you so much, Coach. I have a friend. I was talking to her last night. She said, "You know what? I slept at my place of business because I didn't have gas to get home, and I did this and this because I didn't have money." And I was saying, "Well, why didn't you call? We're out here giving money to other causes and other folks, and here we are. We have relationship, but you never called." Something, and I said something is going on that keeps us from calling.
Yes, we are not good receivers. We feel guilty. We're prideful. I don't care how we don't want to say it. And we're shameful. We're shamed.
Painful, because we figure we got all these pieces of paper, we got all these years of experience. We're at this stage in life. Should we need to make a phone call?
Yes, you do if you need to make a phone call. Let me
Make a
clarify.
phone
If
call.
you need to make a phone call, you need to make a phone call. I had a
Yes.
girlfriend of mine, I remember she was driving in this far place. We got a lot of lonely areas. And I remember she calling me, and several times she had. And one day she got brave enough and she said, Karen, I'm driving to work. And I said, call me anytime. That's all she had to say because she needed a company on the way to work because the roads were lonely.
Mm,
A, she so she don't fall asleep. B, because it was late shift we were talking about. And B, she felt some type of way. But
yeah.
me and her talked all the way to work, and she got there. She's like, thank you. She had to
Yes.
take, she said, I felt bad calling you, but I'm like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. This is what you needed. You don't need anybody you don't need to tell anybody. If you needed it, I am here for you. That's
Do,
it.
do you understand? And I think the problem is if trust has been violated on so many levels in a lot of
Mhm.
people's lives
Yes.
that they don't trust us to keep that confidence that they had
Yes.
a need.
Yes.
And if it is a true friendship, they will keep that confidence if you
Yes.
want it kept. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Because I'll talk about things I tell people all the time. I don't call people's name because when it comes to money and these kind of privacy issue that I deal with, I have to be, cautious for people. I
Yes,
have to not embarrass people. So I have to talk about these things and I have to keep people names out of it because it's
exactly.
important for their safety. It's important for them to feel confident and whole and moving forward and not worrying, feeling judged. And
Hmm.
another issue that happens when people come to me. They feel terribly judged. You know, They feel terribly judged. And I realize I've been working in so many areas where people feel judged in my whole life. If you want to look at commonality in the things I do, I rarely, rarely help people to feel at ease and not feel judged. From my food, my baking, when I was a wholesaler, I realized it. God just brought the knowledge to me when I, started my cleaning company, when I had my daycare. Now that I'm coaching my school, people come to me because they understand that they feel this non-judgmental stuff.
Mm,
Hi,
yes.
Cecilia. Morning, beautiful yourself. I I am not judging it because they're just at the place they're at the moment. Nothing more, nothing less. This is where they're at this moment. No judgment. No, you should have had or you could have had. This is
Mhm.
where life has brought you to.
Well, I think too, sometimes it may not even be the world judging us. It may be us being hard on ourselves.
That too. That too.
I should be here. I should be there. I
Mhm.
blew this. I blew.
Yes.
Come on. God's got more.
More, way more,
See?
way more. Those were your playing ground. Those are where you're being tested on.
Mhm.
Those things happen in life. The reason you go to school, you take a whole class, and then you get tests. When you're like in primary, and you get tests along the way, is because all the stuff they've been teaching you, you're supposed to not do it well, so you can be corrected and learn. Once we start getting that in our heads, when you take a course and you're not doing well in the course, at the time while you're doing the course, you're learning. So of course you're not going to do well, because if you could have, you wouldn't take the course.
Okay. Because if you knew what you know,
You wouldn't take the course. I was going back and looking at some old pictures with me teaching in-person vision board courses. And all the ladies that show up, I think I had about 11 ladies on this specific class. And they got there. A few said they know what it was. A few said they're not sure where it's going to lead them. And we had two of them who didn't want to participate. They came there, but they didn't want to do anything. They just sat at the table. We gave them the supplies, and they were very annoyed to come. And
really.
so the person who brought me in to teach the course said to me, "What are we going to do?" I said, "We're going to do anything. We're going to treat them just like everybody else. We're going to give them the supply. I'm going to walk around." Once I did my full spiel, I went to each person individually, talked to them, see where they're at.
Yes.
And I started talking to the lady, and it wasn't that was irritated, it's that she was just lost her job 6 weeks ago, didn't see any light happening,
Mm.
and was desperately trying to figure out how putting things on paper is going to get her anywhere. She
Uh,
should be out looking for jobs versus sitting in the classroom, right? That's what she said to me straight up. She said, "I don't want to clip little pieces of thing and put it on a paper for what? I've been looking for a job. I couldn't get a job. My unemployment is running out." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to let you just breathe for a bit. I'm going to let you cut anything that look pretty, and then I'll get back to you."
mm-hmm.
And we roll around and we come back around. And by the time I got back at her, she started seeing things that made her smile and made her feel happy. And she started sticking things around. And I gave her 2 sheets of paper. I said, "I want you to brainstorm on these paper. Anything that is just awful right now, just put it on the paper. Just get it out. And once we get it out, then we're going to do other paper for the things that you're expecting and want to happen. That's what we're going to do. But let's first get really nasty, dirty, muddy, upset over here. And then we're going to get over here, you know. And she wrote on both sides of those papers because she was really angry, really upset. She worked at a job for over 20 years, and then this is where she was at, and, very upset of how she got let go. And I said, "You got to let the anger go. You got to forgive the people. God want to move you from there. I know you don't think it makes sense right now, but he's just moving you."
Yes.
And she asked me, she said, "Could I call you after this class? I just need to talk to you." I said, "Yes." We ended up talking for like 4 weeks at different point. She was back in a job in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is that? It's not a miracle. She got rid of the gunk that she was clogging up in her head, doubting her capabilities, doubting who she was. This gave her this place of a sense of displacement when she lost the job, because it was really her,
Mm-hmm.
a dedicated lady. And once she's able to get that out of the way and even start the forgiveness process of the manager that let her go, she was
Yes.
able to open up enough to let in the new stuff.
There you go.
She says, "Kind of want to tell you, my vision board is up on my wall. I also did a second one and I wrote it up and it's in my car. I walk with it."
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I said, what? She goes, and I talk to everybody about it. She goes, I walk with it. My friend brought me to this class and I hated coming. I can't believe
Wow.
the reward I get out of it. So, guys, going back again, it's really what's in you. So, the question is there, what's in you
Okay.
and what do you want to birth? And then who can help you birth it? When you're starting from zero, right? What's in you? And not necessarily what's in your hand and what you're going to do, just what's in you. Because sometimes what's in you just need to get out of you. You just
Mm-hmm.
need to get it. You need to brainstorm it. You need to burn it. You need to dump it. You need to get rid of it so that you can look after you. And her story was a quick story because this is where she was at. But if yours take longer than 4 weeks, okay, it did. Don't necessarily think that it wouldn't get better because God is so good to us that what happening today can change in a split second.
Yes, indeed, it can.
And when it does, we're always shocked.
And most of it has to do with our attitude toward things,
Yes.
how we react instead of respond.
Hmm.
We don't take the time to say, if not this, then something better.
Yes.
you know.
Yes. And just taking that time to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Just see what's in you.
Mark has a comment here. How you doing this morning, Mark? Is the story that you are holding and telling aligned with what you're attempting to create? Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is profound.
Let's take a moment with that statement.
Mm-hmm. Is the story that you are holding and telling aligned with what you're attempting to create?
If not, you're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Because it's another way of saying you shall have what you say.
Mhm, mhm.
Because out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever you're holding in there, the story that you're holding and telling, is it taking you where you want to go? Because you're creating that thing when you speak it out. Because now your mind hears it, right?
Yeah.
And it follows the direction that you send it.
Mhm.
Mm,
You really, truly, truly, truly. That's what happens. So when you start looking at the thing, what's in you,
mm-hmm.
really start seeing. You got to pay attention to it. And it's going to take the time it's going to take. This is a long game. We're not relay. We're not running relay. We're not handing the stick to somebody else. We're right in it. We're doing the long run.
This is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
It is. It is. It really is. You got to be in it.
And I think we're really guilty of this in the United States. We want everything to be a 100-yard dash. If we are not there by the end of 30 days, we're like, what? What?
Yeah. Wait, we didn't win? And then you get caught up in it with nothing turned out, nothing happened.
Or if it didn't happen the way we wanted it to happen or in the time frame that we happen, we tend to throw our hands up
Yeah,
and
we
say, "We're done."
abandoned ship and we're on to the next thing, we're not doing it anymore. We're not
Mm,
doing it anymore. We're on, we're moving on. But really and truly, we gotta give ourselves the time and just be in alignment with what it is we want. And then what do you want to birth? Like once you understand you and understand what's going, like what is it? What is this thing? And you don't have to have every step. Remember, we're starting from zero. You don't have to have every step. Everybody wants, self included, used to want to know. I was that kind of child that I would question my mother to death about something. And she'll say, well, you'll soon find out. No, that was not good. I wanted to know. I wanted detail.
mhm.
I wanted everything. But she would always say, you're going to find out eventually. Karen, just wait and see. And, many other things like that. I was always wanting to get the answer for
Yes. I think everybody wants to know, where are we going with this? I was always a direct person like that. Okay. Some people want to tell a long story about, and I'm like, no, what is the bottom line here? got 5 minutes. What's the bottom line? Okay. Is this happening or isn't it? You know what I mean?
That's what we
Um,
want. But the details that we want to miss, maybe those details are for us. Maybe those details that we want to skim over are for us. And maybe we
mm,
want to pay attention to it. I always look at it this way when coming to books. Like if you pick up a book and you scan through it, you look at the content, you see some chapters that is really important to you, you might want to go ahead and read those chapters and don't worry with the whole book. And then
mm,
maybe you come back and you look at the book again. And you
mm,
realize the chapters that you missed was as important as the chapters you were so excited to be in and read and know and devour. Or you read the whole book and then years later or months later you went back to the book and you've seen that you've missed so many things. That's
mm,
because while you were reading the book you were so forward thinking that you went ahead instead of being. We always talk about being in the moment. It
mm-hmm.
is one of the hardest things for people to be in the moment.
Wow. Well, we have a comment here from Mark. Mark says Karen's example was so good. If you are carrying resentment, it is felt no matter what you are saying. You are not getting that job until you knock down that wall. And he goes on to say the steps are most often illuminated when you are moving.
Mhm.
So as you go, things are lighting up. Any action is ultimately a positive action, even if you discover by virtue of that action that it is misdirected. So, no matter what action we take, there's a positive outcome. We either learn something or we move ahead.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Mhm.
But once you take action, my grandmother retired a little bit before retirement age.
Mhm.
And me and my sisters, we used to cockle, we used to just die with laughter because she got up same 5 o'clock in the morning. And she would wash her sheets, iron the sheets. Oh, her room. I'm gonna say this, but when you get in her room, you feel like you're at a hotel. That's really what it is. You feel like you just don't want to. The
Mm,
bed is scrumptious. The floor you could eat off of it. The space is just divine.
mm, mhm,
And
mhm.
I remember me and my sister saying, "Why is she supposed to be resting? Like, what's she busy doing?" And then all of a sudden you'll see her downstairs. We wash clothes those days by hand. She took all the dress up clothes, church clothes, and she'll do a big laundry wash. She hang them out in the sunshine to dry. She iron them and she hang them back up. Busy, busy, busy. And then she said, I think I'm gonna get a little part-time job to keep myself busy because I still got a lot of energy.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
I say to her, well, where are you gonna find a job? Like, who's gonna hire you? I said it. I let me tell you, I said it. I'm like, she's like, well, I don't know, but I'll watch and see what the Lord will provide.
Okay.
Terry, it wasn't 2 weeks. She had a job.
Well, someone that industrious, I would think so.
She had a job.
And Mark is saying here, he says, I'm often guilty of analysis paralysis.
Yes.
The illusion of perfection lives large in my head. It's a challenge that I continuously overcome.
Mm.
Yes, because if we want it to be perfect,
Yes, Mark. Aren't we
we
all? I
may
have to.
we may never get started, right? If
Yes.
we wait for all
Yes.
conditions to be perfect,
Yes.
we'll never start.
I told my son yesterday, I said, your kids, when you have children, it really make you learn about yourself way more than you would want to expect. Like when I
Hmm.
first had to give over the first chore to my eldest son, he was about 9. And I wrote out his chore list and I said, this is what you're going to do. And he did it real messy. Those days, my perfectionism was crazy. I was just dying. I was just dying to see the way he was performing the chores. I'm like, you had me your whole life. You watched me. How could you do this? How could you not do this? Oh, I went berserk on him over and over.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was those people who will lie to the top and just carry on, making
Mm,
sure that everything in its place. But he taught me a lot of things. So when I was ready to hire people in my business,
mm-hmm.
I had learned how to train a child. I had learned how to step back. I had learned he's a quieter child. My sons are the quieter one. My daughter is more of a bubbly like me. And so he would quietly, when it's the uproar is off, he says, Mom, I know how to do it. But when
Mm.
you talk to me like that, I get real nervous. Then I just mess the whole thing up.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What? What? He's like, if you give me a chance next week, I'll show you how I could do it. If you don't like it, it's okay. And I started learning. If you allow people, they'll surprise you in that training arena. It was
My
hard. It
kids,
was hard. It was hard.
don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
No, no, no,
Mm,
no, no. He's turned out to be one of my kids who will do a lot of great things if I just let him do it. Give him the
mm-hmm.
instructions. So once you find out what you're birthing, because we're starting from zero, who can help you? Don't be ashamed. Don't let pride stand in the way. Receive what is being given to you.
Mm.
You are blocking the person's blessing by not allowing them to help you. Don't
Yes.
matter how small it is, allow them to come in and help you.
Mm-hmm.
Allow them to be blessed. I'll tell you guys, I started selling oranges to a friend of mine, and she was a sibling, the eldest sibling of 14 children. And you would think because she got all those siblings, she did a lot of the helping. She wouldn't want to come help me, but she used to always want to help me. And I would say to her, why do you want to come help me? I mean, don't you got enough brothers and sisters that you're helping your mom with? She's like, I do, but I like helping you. And she would just come help me set up my little stand. She'll come and help me sometime, when I babysit my sister. She'll help me in any way she can. Over time, I would let her. But initially, I used to fight her and didn't want her to help me. I didn't want to receive that help. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do it all on my own because I've developed in my head that I could do it on my own, which is mostly true. But the help, once she convinced me she could be of help, I start seeing the relief on my part and how valuable her help was.
Mm.
Also, I will say that helping her really was God sh- showing me how I also need to help her. I would never have known she needed help hadn't she reached out and helped me.
Mm.
She came out to help me, and then to my beyond, my understanding, the time I got older to figure it out, she needed help. She was struggling in school. They were about to take her out of school because she wasn't doing well. People home used to love doing that with the kids. If you're not doing great, they pull you out of school and allow
Oh.
you to just help around the house, if you're in the
Uh-huh.
countryside, farming, that sort of thing. And one day she got brave enough and she asked me for help. I was pretty bright in school, so we like start not so it was like an exchange. She came and helped me and I help her with her homework. She came and helped me and I help her with her homework. So lots of times when we are about to receive something, you're helping somebody else without even understanding you're helping them. Sometimes you just help them to feel good at the moment, and that's all they need.
Ah.
Sometimes you help somebody because you give them a hug, and that's
Mm-hmm.
all they need in that moment. And sometimes you help people just because you sat down and have a cup of tea and a conversation with them. That's the help they need at the time. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that help would feel insignificant. Like, what is it going to do? How's it going to help them with money? What? That help is clearing the fog that they're feeling. It's making them see the light. It's making them see that there's good people out there. There's people who want to help them. And they, in turn, feel energized enough to get to what they're needing to get
Mm.
to get to where they're needing to get to. You know, so many times in my life, I've helped people just for the sheer fact of that's who I am, a helper.
Mm-hmm.
And to find out what it did for them, how it helped them. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to tell me everything. It was just needed. It was in my capacity. and I give it. And we all do this. We all do this.
This is a beautiful thing. So in this journey, we're going to be taking a 6-week journey, you say,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
on wealth creation.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see here. We're starting from zero with a
Yes.
6-week wealth creation.
Yes.
And what you wanted us to learn today
And
was
right. And today we were looking at what's in you.
mm-hmm,
What's in you. Not what's in your hand and what you're gonna do. Just what's in you. That feeling, that behavior of receiving and understanding you and understanding where things are coming from, because that's where it all starts. I know we're taught, I know how marketing work, I know how sales work, I know you look after your client, I know the value you bring, but you can't get none of that until you're looking after what's inside of you, because it'll come up. No, let me don't get me wrong. You can start, you're gonna make money, but it does come up inside of you,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and it stops you and it blocks you. You don't continue, and this is because I've lived it. So it's not like you can't start and you can't make money and things wouldn't be great, but it's gonna come up. It's gonna punch you in the face.
mm,
You're gonna take a step back. So if we're gonna start from ground zero, let's start with the feeling part. Let's start from where it's happening. Let's feel. And it's okay. You don't have to be in the race with everybody else. You feel your own feeling. You clear your own clearance. You do that for yourself, because you're going to get to serve from this wonderful place when you're ready to serve. You're not even fussing. The money will come. It will come. I don't care where you are and where you're at right now. The money will come if you
mm-hmm.
allow it to come in. We stand in the doorway so many bloody times. It is wanting to come. It's knocking. It's like, let me in. And we're like, nope, you're not coming in. Not that way, because that's not how I want you to come in. So you can't come.
Oh my
And
goodness.
we say it in different forms. You're like, it's you can't come. You can't come in. I don't want to see you. Right now, I'm in this muddy place where I'm very upset, annoyed, whatever. And so I don't want you to come in. And then it doesn't come.
Wow.
And it just doesn't come in. And people are like, well, I don't need to do all that. I can make money. Temporarily, you can, but the
Mm-hmm.
blockage is going to come back again. Things is going to come up. So find out what's in you. And then find
Okay.
out what you want to abort, whatever that is. And let me tell you, even if you have something right now, but you think it's messy and you're not sure what to do with it and you want to rebirth it, it's okay. You can clean it up and you can rebirth it. You don't have to feel shame. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to worry about starting over. You're starting where you're at. You're not starting over. You're here. You're starting where you're at.
Mm. All right.
And you find
Guys,
out
did
who
you
can
hear
help.
that? You can dust it off, clean it up, and present it again. People still need what you have. So, thank you so much, Coach Karen. I presume that next week we'll be talking about what do you want to birth out. We're going to
We're
continue
talking
this.
about that. We're talking about your gifts. We're talking about what you're bringing to the table, how we're
Okay.
situating it.
I think we're in a perfect place.
Yes.
Mark says money is congealed energy. It is always in flow. You are either open to receive or you are obstructing the
The
flow.
flow.
Hmm.
Yes.
Well, let me stop
Yes.
obstructing whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Procrastination, whatever they want to call it. Stop obstructing your own flow.
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
righty.
Oh
Well
yeah. Oh
stated.
yeah.
So thank you so much, Coach. We
Oh,
just want
you're
to
welcome.
remind everybody that you can find Coach Karen at Profits in Daily. She is there on the web, on Instagram, Facebook. Where else can they find you?
I need to get back to Twitter.
Okay, so let's stick with Facebook and Instagram for right
There,
now.
where we gotta stick with that.
And
Yeah.
obviously, you can find her on BizChicks YouTube
Yes.
channel and all of our Facebook channels. So we look forward to hearing from you next Wednesday. We'll be talking more about this 6-week wealth creation.
Yes.
Guys, does it get any better than this? Make sure to share this with your friends. Um, Mark says, thank you, Coach Karen. Thank you, dear. Thank
You're
you
welcome. Thanks
so much.
for being here. We appreciate you, Mark.
Mark, and Mark always has such profound
He
commentary. We
does.
just really, really do
Mm-hmm.
enjoy hearing from you, Mark. Cecilia says, thank you. Have a prosperous day. You
Right
too,
back at you.
Cecilia. Cecilia is so gracious. She is a in-home caregiver and
Mhm.
she has a business. Um, she's just a wonderful person. When you come, you'll have to meet her in person. Just a joy to be around. And the reason why our businesses prosper is because people buy people before they buy the business. If they,
Mhm.
because if you don't like that shopkeeper, you're not going in there. Okay, virtual, non-virtual, how they talk to you is really, really
Yeah.
important,
Yeah.
which you found out this week, how it can affect people when they're not
Mhm.
talked to properly. So,
Exactly.
guys, with that, we want to remind you it's okay to be successful in your business. If you need a coach, think of Coach Caren. She can talk you down out of a lot of trees concerning your money. If you need help streaming and things of that nature, techie stuff, call the BizChicks. That's what we do. We want to remind you it's okay to be successful in your business and go to the front of your own mind.
Right.
We'll see you next week. Tomorrow is Thursday. We'll be talking about happy, healthy habits with Robin, Shamizu, and
And
friends.
friends.
All right, guys. Bye bye.